If there is an organized group, then a group cover is provided for, because that would enable more efficient coverage of larger numbers of people. The individual pension is a market segment, but the product is little more complicated than an ordinary endowment or a life insurance product. So to that extent, the distributor has to be extra trained to explain the features. There may be some difficulty in having large volumes on the individual pension front, but definitely on the group pension front, there is tremendous scope in this country.
Yeah, my question to the panel is that Mr. Roy spoke about products, use of technology, and customer service being the differentiator for LIC. I think what IRD has done recently is also to accentuate and accelerate the customer service, talk about opening of EIA accounts. Now, that's a very smart use of technology, plus has a very long-term view of customer service because there's agencies managing it. And I know the industry as a whole has had a very lukewarm response to it. And we all know who the big brother in life insurance is. And it'll be good to hear from the panel what is the industry view on taking this forward, because if this were to go through, then the digital dream that Mr. Mishra was talking about would come in very handy, because the documentation simplification is done.
Dr. Nandagopal?
Well, I mean, I have opportunity of working on that particular project. I think, I mean, the industry definitely favors. I can actually say maybe Mr. Roy himself has very clearly, categorically mentioned that, being the largest insurer, industry welcomes. The fundamental issue is the cost. The fundamental issue is that if it is a duplicate of cost, you have a manual processing cost, manual policy issuance cost, and then also you have to pay for the insurance repository cost. Then I think it will actually loads up, and somebody else has to pick up the cost. I think that's where the committee which has been formed by the IRDA looked at, I mean, how do you make it mandatory? And when you make it mandatory, customer will have option of choosing which one he wants to do that. And if there is a differential in the cost of manual process versus digital process, the customer should be prepared to pay for that. And if that happens, I believe that, I mean, the digitization of the whole insurance accounts will significantly reduce the cost, and eventually that is the way to go about it. And to facilitate that, apart from making it mandatory, there is also process reengineering we have to do it. Today, unfortunately, the process has been extremely cumbersome. And once the moment, I mean, you made it very, very simple, the cost can dramatically come down. And I believe that on behalf of the industry and everybody else will support it, and the customer will be the biggest beneficiary.
There's one small suggestion on that, if the industry could take it up, which is that the secured login of each bank account can be actually used to, complete this process, and we could actually have all the bank account customers turn into EIA account holders as well. And then the penetration of insurance would go up.
That's been one of the recommendations.
Yeah, great, thank you.
So you have time for one last question to the panel. Okay. So thank you so much. This was a wonderful session, and thank you so much to all the eminent speakers. It was a very engaging discussion, and we have a lot to think through as the industry is poised for the next phase of growth over the next 5 to 7 years. Thank you so much to the panel and to the audience.
Thank you to the
Thank you once again. Can we have a round of applause for our esteemed panel members? And I'm also going to request Ms. Sunita to please come on stage and present the mementos to our speakers. Firstly, to Mr. S.K. Roy, Chairman, Life Insurance Corporation. To Mr. G. Srinivasan, Chairman and Managing Director, The New India Assurance. To Dr. P. Nandagopal, Managing Director and CEO, India First Life Insurance. To Mr. K. Mishra, Managing Director and CEO, Tata AIG General Insurance. To Mr. Arijit Basu, Managing Director and CEO, SBI Life Insurance. And finally, to our moderator and speaker, Mr. Shashwat Sharma, Partner, Management Consulting, KPMG. Thank you once again, panel members, for another very, very enlightening discussion. I request all the panel members to please come together for a group photograph. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after getting some fresh perspectives with that very, very interesting panel discussion, it's also now time to move ahead with the case study. In fact, talking about our next speaker, he's someone who comes with more than 30 years of experience, spanning both banking as well as insurance with the HSBC Group. And having started off in UK, he has in fact spent the last 12 years in different countries across Middle East as well as Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause, and please help me welcome on stage the CEO, Canara HSBC Oriental Bank of Commerce Life Insurance, Mr. John Holden.
Clunk. Okay, let's see if the computer will work. Right, I appreciate everybody's been sat down since 10 o'clock and has been sat very patiently through some presentations, so I'll try and keep you entertained and informed. Can somebody help me get my USB stick loaded? Okay, before we... Okay, you can do that.